Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Here we go. It's Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with the Holly Jolly Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh man, we are here to talk about 2006 Black Christmas.
Oh man.
This one is not really a remake, not really a reboot, and
Yeah, it's weird.
Kind of a little bit of everything, and a sequel.
Yeah. It would have been better if it was less confusing, I guess, if it was just a sequel.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we will.
But the bottom line is there is a 1974 version. You might not have listened to our episode yet on that, so go back and listen to that if you haven't, and then come back to this, because it is sort of connected. Okay, so Joel, who is in this?
All right, this one stars Katie Cassidy. She was in When a Stranger Calls, the 2006 version. Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010. Yeah. The Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 version. And she is in over 150 episodes of Arrow.
Oh, wow.
The show, yeah. Also, Michelle Trachtenberg. She was in Euro Trip, Inspector Gadget, and Harriet the Spy.
Wow. Is she Harriet the Spy?
Yeah, she is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at her picture. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't notice that in the when I actually saw the movie.
Yeah, well, she's a lot older than that.
Yeah.
but
but like looking at her picture on IMDb, like
she does look
I'm like okay,
her,
that is her.
A little older. Yeah. Lacey Chabert, she was in Party of Five. Over 140 episodes in that. Not Another Teen Movie. And Mean Girls.
Wow.
And Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she was in Final Destination 3, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and more recently, the Birds of Prey movie.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Wow. I knew that all these actresses looked familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on anything they've been in. So
yeah, I had to do 4 for this one because, I mean, they all pretty much have the same amount of screen time for the most part. Yeah. And they all pretty much did quite a few movies back in the day.
Yeah.
The writer is Glenn Morgan. He did the screenplay for Final Destination, Willard, and Final Destination 3, and 16 episodes of The X-Files.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's also directed by Glenn Morgan, who directed Willard and 3 episodes of X-Files. But like the more recent of them when it came back.
They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't really seen any of those.
I saw the first season of that when it came back. It was pretty good.
Okay.
It's not like the originals, but it was decent. So yeah.
Okay. And this one is on Christmas Eve. An escaped maniac returns to his childhood home, which is now a sorority house, and begins to murder the sorority sisters one by one.
Oh, man.
So,
that one has a better synopsis than the original one did.
Yeah. This has a more thorough synopsis. So this one, it's a little confusing. So, to me, it's a sequel mixed with a remake.
I mean, it's Yeah, I can see, because we didn't get any sort of backstory whatsoever on Billy in the original one. Yeah. You got a bunch of backstory on him in this one.
Yeah.
So for me, it feels more like a remake with the backstory.
Okay.
Did you say he comes back to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he was in a. Okay, yeah, it could be a sequel then.
Yeah, that's where it's confusing.
Yeah, because it never shows him get caught in the first one. It sort of ends before that. So him coming back to that kind of feels like a Halloween.
Yeah, and well, apparently this was his house, his childhood home.
Yeah,
which is not what it seemed like in the original. I didn't think so. But who knows? We don't really know his history in that film. So and then some of the characters had like same names as the original movie.
Yeah, they did.
The whole like phone call thing and the him being in the attic was the same. Those overlapping pieces.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was caught and had to break out to get there makes it seem like a sequel.
Yeah.
But he was born in 1970. So it can't be a direct sequel. Because
he was killing people at 4 years old.
Yeah. That wouldn't really work out.
No.
So it's a little confusing.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird. I mean, I guess it couldn't have been like a full-on sequel because the age, like, I mean, I don't know. He still would have been alive when, if he
like
was
40-something years old.
Between what would have been probably 1954
like 60-something
to 2006. Yeah. So, I mean, he still could have done it.
I mean, Michael's still going.
Yeah, he's still going strong. So, yeah, I mean, he could have broken out at 60. Like, it's not that, like, if he was strong enough, like, take on the guards and everything. It's not, Yeah. So, yeah, it is kind of weird. The whole, is it a remake? Is it a sequel?
Yeah.
I was going to say it's a remake, but with the whole breaking out, I can see it being a sequel as well. Like, just pretend that he wasn't born in 1970 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just go back 20 years earlier than that.
Right.
And everything else feels like a sequel.
Yeah.
Besides his age is the only thing that it's like, that doesn't add up. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a sequel.
Okay.
So Black Friday. Or
Black Friday.
I did that again. Black Christmas.
Black Christmas too.
For the
All right. So, what'd you like about this one?
So this was the first one of the three that I saw. Like I saw this one around the time it came out. Rented it at Hollywood back in the day, and for a slasher, it was enjoyable. Like, it had some pretty gruesome kills. Yeah, way more than the original.
The eyeballs, man, they love the eyeballs in this movie.
Yeah, they do. Loves biting into them, and that was a little disturbing.
I think that they were really into the eyeballs because of that scene in the original where it like shows his eye like that. I feel like that's like the best scene of the movie, and so I wonder if that's where, because in this one they like show like he's looking up into like the bathroom and with his eye, and like eyes are getting like popped out of heads and getting stabbed, and, like eaten, and, so eyes big part of this movie.
They really are. Just love stabbing them. So the kill scenes were definitely they were definitely gruesome. Way more than the original, and way more than a lot of like slasher movies. It was just like, because it's not just the kill, it's taking out the eyes. And like there's like some slime that comes in. It's like, what is this? It's just the whole thing. Yeah. With each scene.
Yeah.
And then one of the girls gets a bag wrapped around her head and then stabbed in like the head.
Oh man!
And she's still alive as he's like taking her eyes out. Oh man!
Yep.
The story is a little confusing. Well,
what's confusing? So, I will help you.
Well, I mean, the whole is it a remake or a sequel kind of thing is a little confusing, but also the backstory, that was definitely a Rob Zombie type of a movie for sure. I was not expecting that directing that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Billy and Agnes thing, like it shows. That was kind of confusing because as a kid, it shows him kill her.
Kill who?
Kill Agnes.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Kill Agnes?
Yeah. And like you see her eyeball like roll to.
Oh, yes.
To like the mom or the dad or whatever. Yeah. But she's alive.
Yeah, and I don't think she died. I don't think I felt like she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
But
actually, you know what? I think they did mention that she was
she's still
in the hospital or something like that.
Hospital, yeah.
Or went to like a foster family or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I mean that part's fine there. Just kind of weird that cuz that's his MO.
Yeah.
Like taking eyeballs out of your victims. So
yeah,
it kind of felt in that moment that it was, but she has two. You see both of their faces pretty clear.
Yeah,
and she's got two eyes.
Yeah, well, no, it's a glass eye.
Yeah,
definitely could be a glass.
It could have been a glass eye.
But it's pretty twisted backstory.
Mm-hmm.
The whole incest and all that. Yeah. So
Agnes is Billy's sister and daughter. Yeah. Yeah. I
was not expecting that. Like, wow, we're really going there, huh?
I know. Right. Yeah. I mean, it didn't show anything, so I'm happy about that. But, yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
It did say 9 months later, and she's pregnant, so that's cool.
Yeah, his mom was not very nice to him.
No.
And she wanted another child that was not him, because she did not like him. So that's the only way she thought she could do it, I guess. Have a baby with your son.
Yes.
All right.
That was really weird, but yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it was... And the acting, again, was passable. Mm-hmm. Wasn't, the greatest acting in the world, but can't really expect the great acting coming from slasher movies.
Right.
Very often. But, I mean, yeah, at least the 4 of the sorority sisters that I mentioned did a pretty good job in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But, some of the kill scenes, they were gruesome, but they were also like really cool too.
Yeah,
I liked most of the kill scenes.
Yeah.
In that movie, there were a couple of them that were. There was one that was kind of off screen. Mm-hmm. Like it shows one of the girls in the car.
Yeah.
And as they're like trying to escape.
Yeah.
Which was a stupid thing to do in the first place, but okay. And then all of a sudden, like you see the car rocking, and then you just see like red go across the windshield and stuff.
They definitely went overboard with some of the like blood splatter and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely went over the top with the kills, but that's definitely what made it fun to me.
Yeah. And then the other one gets killed by an icicle, but not by him.
Yeah.
But it like falling on top of her.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I mean, I guess gravity works like that.
It was a very sharp icicle off the roof.
It wasn't even that high off either.
It was like 2 feet.
You have a very soft top of your head there. So, those are pretty much my positives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I loved the kills. I thought it was a lot of fun. I like when movies kind of go over the top with the kills. It entertains me.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the like callbacks to the original that they did, while being original at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. But it makes it kind of like, is this a sequel? Is it a remake?
Yeah.
I think they made it to be a standalone movie, but for people who liked the original to see things in it that are like, oh, okay, they're referencing this movie.
Yeah.
Because they don't call it Black Christmas 2.
No, yeah,
it's just Black Christmas.
Yeah.
But I really think Black Christmas, the original, is not held very highly. Or not... I think it is held highly within the horror community, but I don't think it's really known, And it's just a cool title.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to come up with a Christmas horror movie, Black Christmas is a good name. And you have a little bit of a template to work with from the original film. So I think that's kind of what they were going for. They give you a lot more about Billy and Agnes and who these people are. Maybe
too much. You don't need to know the incest stuff.
Yeah. So, and there was some, like I said, callbacks, which was cool. There was also a little bit of a mystery as to... Because we only really know about Billy. We only think it's Billy doing these things.
Yeah.
So then it's like, it feels like there's two people doing some of these killings. And so then you start to suspect a couple of the other characters. Like one of the girls shows up looking for her sister out of nowhere. And so, you suspect her, the boyfriend, just like in the original. So I like that. I like that it's not just straightforward, cut and dry. And then you see that Agnes is also a part of the deaths. Their brother-sister duo.
What was up with that one girl that came in later? The one with the glasses? I forgot what her name was.
Oh, yeah.
But when she came in, everyone looked at her like, what are you doing here? Like, who? Like,
I think she was just the...
She was there to kind of throw you off. Yeah. Because at one point in that scene, when everyone's feeling uneasy about her being there, she says something like, you're my family.
Yeah.
Too, or like now, or something like that. And it's like, oh. But it turns out to be nothing. Like,
she's supposed to be like this. So
why are you saying stuff like that? It's just,
she's obsessed.
It was just a weird.
She's obsessed with Billy. She had all these newspaper clippings and stuff, and she lived at I think she lived at their house, at the sorority house. She was one of the because they went to her room and saw all these newspaper clippings and stuff, and she gifts the unicorn to her sorority sister. Yeah, and which is also
so she lives there. Why is everyone so uneasy and like uncomfortable when
because she's
there?
Weird.
Yeah, but she's not some stranger coming to your house. Like,
I think they just. She lives there, but nobody really talks to her. Nobody really engages with her because she's kind of weird and dark, and especially now it's like the anniversary of her heroes her heroes killing spree. So I think that's kind of to make the audience feel like, what's up with this girl? And then maybe just not the best acting and writing for why they're acting all weird around her.
But it was kind of weird to like not just one character, like all of them were like, what are you doing here? Like, that's kind of thing that it kind of felt like they were thinking, what are you doing here? Yeah, it's your sorority like Christmas party. Like, of course she's gonna be there.
Yeah. So, I think that's about it for my positives. Yeah, I think. The original, I think I'm going to watch every year. This one...
Every other year?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I did enjoy it. It's a classic 2000s slasher with some good kills, some good gore. Yeah. A good story. I would say the story isn't bad. It's a little twisted, but... not anything super special, but, it's good. It's entertaining.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest takeaway is it's entertaining. That's about it. I would probably be upset like the rest of people that grew up with Black Christmas when this one came out. Like, what is this? Because it feels nothing. It's not a good remake.
Yeah, no.
But so but it's also kind of a sequel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It is, like you were saying, it is kind of meant to be a standalone, Black Christmas movie.
It's really, it feels nothing like the original. Like, tone, atmosphere, like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. It has some of the same characters and some elements of it in story-wise, but...
That's it.
That's it,
Yeah. So,
negatives.
Yeah. So, I think my biggest negative in this movie is Billy and Agnes.
Okay.
I was not intimidated by Agnes whatsoever.
You weren't
She looks like the Wayans brothers in like White Chicks.
Yes, when they're she does.
It's like, really?
Yeah, was it? Do you think it? I mean, I don't know if I even want to say this. I'm like, was it a woman who played her?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it was or not. It was. I loved the original. Part of it being because we don't know these characters. We don't know Billy.
Yeah. We
never saw Billy.
Yeah.
We really never even saw Agnes.
No.
For all we know, Billy was Agnes in that one. But seeing them, it just
kind of
it took a lot away from the movie.
Yeah.
Especially seeing and hearing like Agnes. Like, you don't hear Billy like at all.
No.
In it when he's like attacking, which is pretty intimidating. He's a big guy, so I don't know how they like snuck around the attic. Like, both of them, they're big people.
Well, it's not like they were there for that long.
Yeah,
because they had. Well, I don't know where she came from, but he had to escape.
Yeah.
In order to get there. I don't know if she was just
I don't know where she was.
For him.
Yeah, she was just chilling there. I don't know how, if that's true, I don't know how, like, she did that without them hearing footsteps coming from the attic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think my biggest negatives were Agnes.
Yeah.
Mostly Agnes, really, because Billy was pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
You didn't see his face very much in it. But, you saw him coming at the girls, and it was pretty intimidating.
Yeah,
because he's a big guy. So, Agnes is probably my biggest negative that I have for the movie.
Okay.
Hearing her talk was not very intimidating. Just like, she was just weird.
Yeah.
If anything, she was just a weird character. The tone, the setting, or not mostly the tone, wasn't great. It was definitely not as good as the original Black Christmas.
Yeah. It was pretty stock.
It was, yeah. And it was, pretty typical 2000s, like, slasher movie.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, the 80s had a typical slasher and the 2000s had a typical slasher, but...
Yeah.
Well, the 90s did, too. Like, in the late 90s, but... there's always that feel.
Yep, there is.
And it definitely felt like a 2000s slasher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, I mean, it was an enjoyable movie. It's not like, probably not a movie I'm going to see, like you were saying, every year.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable for the most part.
Okay. So for me, Agnes, yeah, but also Billy. Because Billy looks like the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's like glowing. Like, I know he had this like jaundice, I guess, or some sort of pigmentation thing.
Yellow skin.
Yeah.
But
it was just
it was like a Simpsons character.
It's like, okay, you're way over the top with the glowing skin. It looked dumb. It looked really dumb especially when he like. Okay, well, this is another negative. The fact that they survived and were in body bags and came out of the body bags at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, that was so dumb. And then he's like stomping down the hall like he looked like the Hulk.
Yeah.
He was in his like,
It makes it believable that he would break out
I guess.
of prison or wherever he was being held.
Yeah, I guess so.
So.
But they really shouldn't have had them survive just for another 5 minutes or something to crawl out of body bags and then go and attack again and then die like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb.
Well, they had to have that one chick die.
Yeah.
So there was only one survivor in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which is what slashers typically do. I mean, there's usually like 2 survivors in slasher movies, but this one only had 1. But yeah, so yeah, that hospital scene was kind of...
The hospital stuff was dumb. The fact that he had glowing skin, looked like the Hulk or a Simpsons guy, like a combination of like a Simpsons Hulk. That was dumb. And there were some scenes where it was like fast-paced, like fight, I guess, scenes or attack scenes or whatever you want to call it. And it was kind of hard for me to tell what was happening because it was so flash to this, flash to that, and then like all of a sudden they're running away. Like I'm like, what did they do? What happened there?
Yeah,
it was kind of hard to keep up with. So I would say that was like a picky negative. But the main negative for me is just the way Billy looked and Agnes, the way she looked. Her eyes were like glowing too. Like they like showed her eyes and it was like.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with you. Like, we hear about what happened with Billy.
She looked like a monster. And she didn't look any different when she was a little girl. When they showed her when she was, like, growing up and stuff. She looked like your typical girl.
Yeah.
And then now she's a monster? Like, okay.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the glowing eyes is the glass eye.
Yeah. And just
maybe both of them. Maybe he took both of them out, not just one.
Yeah, he likes his eyeballs, and they like to eat them.
Yeah, I know.
This is like okay.
Like you go into not too much detail about like the whole incest thing, but you don't go into detail about why he likes eyeballs so much. That's the kind of thing I want to know about. I don't want to know about the incest.
Well,
they could have been brother and sister. Like they didn't need that.
Yeah, they definitely did not need the incest piece.
Instead of that, give us backstory on the eyeballs. Like,
the eyeballs were all over the movie. Like it was just funny. They were like eyeballs rolling down places, and and they're like. It seemed like they were like little toys, like little eyeball toys. So. It was corny. The kills were over the top and corny at the same time.
Yeah.
But that is fun to me. So I like it.
Like the whole Kill Bill type of over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill scenes.
All right. Well, let's grade this bad boy.
All right. So this one is I'm going to give this one a 73.
Okay. I'm going 82.
82. All right. Wow.
Yeah, I was entertained with this one. And I think it kind of goes well with the original movie. I like that it was kind of a combination of a sequel and a remake.
Yeah.
At the same time. And so I dig it.
Yeah. If
it wasn't for Billy looking stupid and Agnes looking stupid and them crawling out of body bags, it would have been 85, maybe. Yeah.
Would have gone up another 2%.
Yeah.
Or 3. Big difference.
Yeah. That could be a difference of a letter grade.
That is true.
All right. So we are going to also review Black Christmas from 2019.
Can't wait.
These all have the same name.
I know. 3 completely different movies.
And Krampus.
Yes. Yes.
That'll be coming your way as well. So, get in the Christmas spirit. Go eat some eyeballs. All right. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Agnes